So he hits 30 and he starts changing. He starts changing like drastically. He was like one of the funniest guys I ever knew, and he was this really, really funny stoner dude and really cool. And all of a sudden, he's like angry about things, and now he's not quite as funny, and now he's got this issue. And there's this one night that he's kind of disgusted with his life, and he starts ranting, and he goes, you know, Quentin, you think that we're this really great team, we're this really great crew. Well, we are. I mean, to that time of your 20s, we're like your group of friends or your family, And I'm like, well, we are. Quentin, at 20, I worked at South Bay Cinemas, and I hung out with a bunch of guys just like you. And some girls there, too. But it was a bunch of guys just like you. And then I stopped working at South Bay Cinema. Then I worked at Miller's Outpost. I hung out with a bunch of guys just like you, and we did everything just like we do. We went to movies together. We went out and we dated amongst the girls there, everything. Yeah. Then I worked at Leisure Pizza for 4 years with a bunch of guys just like you. I've wasted my life hanging out with a bunch of guys just like you. And they all go away at a certain point. I'm turning 25 around this time. So I'm having my own little, what have I done with my life so far? So far, fucking nothing. I'm seeing what it's like 5 years from now.
Yeah.
When you turn 30.
Yeah, window to the future.
When you're turn 30 and you're in this situation. And there was like one night that I had what I used to call, I would do it every once in a while. I haven't done it in a long time, thankfully. I would have a Quentin Detest Fest. Where I'd stay up all night long, and rather than give myself excuses, I would look at everything that I'm fucking up in my life, or everything I'm not doing, or whatever, and just not give myself any fucking excuses out. Just like nail it. And I would spend like all night laying out everything I'm doing that's wrong, and then I would spend the last 2 hours figuring out how I can change it. And as opposed to just doing it and then going to get some sleep and then you forget about it and fall back into your routine, I decided to change my life. I got to not worry about this job anymore. I got to just move to Hollywood. I got to get involved there. I got to meet other people that are in the business. And if I have to work manpower jobs, where you just work like 4 days at this place and 4 days at that place, well, then that's fine. And by the way, I shouldn't be making money until I'm making money doing what I want to do. But then, the next thing I knew, I moved out of the South Bay. And then I couldn't move into Hollywood. I couldn't afford Hollywood, but I could afford Koreatown. And that was close enough. And literally the minute I kind of moved out there, I met a guy who wrote low-budget horror movies, and then through him, I met other guys that wrote low-budget horror movies, and this guy who directs a few low-budget horror, and this guy who produces a couple. And you meet one person, and that introduces you to 3 other people. Now, all of a sudden, I actually knew people who were actually making movies. Well, if these guys can do it, I can do it. Because they weren't too special.
Right. Yeah.
And then literally, it wasn't like everything changed, but like within a year and a half from moving out of the South Bay and moving into the Hollywood area, within a year and a half, I was finally able to make a living as a writer. Getting like a $7,000 for this rewrite on this script over here. $4,000 for this polish over here, another $10,000 for this rewrite over here. Well, shit. I mean, I would make $10,000 a year through all my 20s before that point. So if I can make $15,000 from writing, oh my God, that was the greatest thing in the world.
Wow. Your bitter friend gave you a valuable little piece of information.
Yeah, he did. No, very much so.
You need those moments.
Oh, I knew I was hearing the truth. And I knew I was hearing a coming attraction.
Yeah.
Because I was already feeling it at 25.
Right.
Am I throwing my topsoil years away?
Right. The topsoil. Exactly. And when it doesn't come back.
It doesn't come back.
Yeah, you never get to be 21 again. Let's hit reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get one weird march through this life.
Get it going.
Yeah, get it going.
Yeah.